Thousands of minibus taxi commuters in the Western Cape will have to find alternative transport today. The SA National Taxi Council in the province has announced they're shutting down services. No taxis will be available today or tomorrow. Now, Santaco is accusing Cape Town and the provincial government of targeting them by impounding vehicles. eNCA's Nobesuthu Hejana is tracking that story for us and joins us now this morning. Good morning to you, Nobesuthu. I mean, what is the context of, the story today? A shutdown, I understand, but it's affecting commuters today and tomorrow.
Certainly, Dumelo, you would be aware that previously we've seen the city of Cape Town's J.P. Smith speaking out that he will continue with his programs of impounding vehicles that are not roadworthy. And it's something that has been criticized by the taxi industry here in the Western Cape, saying that they've been targeted by the city of Cape Town. But the latest was the termination of the incentive by the Western Cape government or the Department of Transport, where the Blue Dot service or program that was initiated back in 2020 to sort of give money to taxi drivers or the taxi associations that are behaving on the roads. We know that about 800 taxis on the road were part of that program, but recently the Western Cape Transport Department saying that it's terminating those services because of financial constraints. Now, the province did issue a statement yesterday saying that, they would like to talk to the taxi associations and try to reach a point where commuters can be able to be serviced. Along the way, we've seen quite a number of people standing by the roads. But to get more info, I'm joined by Mr. Nobesuthu, who is the Deputy Chair of Santaco in the province. Mr. Nobesuthu, the province says it's willing to go back to the drawing boards to talk to you guys about calling off this particular shutdown. What were some of those communications or the conversations 2 weeks back?
Good morning to you and good morning to the viewers at home. That is surprising because we have not received any communication from the department stating that they would like to sit on the table with us. What we have received is a letter from Kyle, who is a deputy director in the Department of Mobility, whereby he is criticizing us for taking this action, stating that they've been supporting the program for the 18 months, but we have not received any form of communication that calls for discussions.
Let's talk about this action by Santaco in the province. Obviously, 2 days you are saying that you will not be operating. Let's just touch on those issues that you've raised with the department and how can they be possibly solved or resolved to ensure that commuters can be able to access your transportation.
All right. One is the issue of Blue Dot, which when it was introduced to us 18 months ago, the department said it's a pilot project and they promised that if it's effective, it will be expanded. They tried it out of 880 quantums now, and we have 15,000 quantums in the Western Cape. So we're expecting the government to say that we are going to cover all the quantums, because this is a model that we think should be used in subsidizing the taxi industry. Two is the issue of impoundment, which is a challenge to the taxi owners because vans are impounded more often. And there are bylaws that have been introduced by the city of Cape Town, whereby the taxi industry was not consulted, in drawing up those bylaws, but we saw them being implemented, and they impact to us negatively.
So what sort of actions would you like to see, especially from the city as well as the provincial government, in terms of building a strong relationship between them and the taxi industry here in the Western Cape?
We are very painful about what is happening because we have built, I think since beginning of this year, built a good relationship with the MEC, Daylin Michelle. And we could see now that that relationship is being broken, you know. And that is what we are expecting from the city of Cape Town. We have tried several times to meet with JP Smith, but in vain, because he has never availed himself to us, because we wanted to sit and convey to him what we are not satisfied of. But unfortunately, it doesn't come forth.
I hope that things will get resolved at some point, Mr. Enge. Tumelo, Mr. Nceba Enge, who is the deputy chairperson of Santaco in the province. I mean, behind me you can see the number of taxi drivers that are parked here, just to show that the taxi industry in the Western Cape is serious about its actions for a shutdown. But he does say that, I mean, they would like to speak to the provincial government and possibly find ways or means to ensure that they have a strong relationship with regards to them and the city, and as well as the province.
All right, Nobesuthu, that's where we'll leave it for this morning, and we'll be sure, of course, to catch up with you again as soon as there are other developments. Definitely this decision affecting commuters out in the Western Cape, but we'll be sure to catch up with Nobesuthu Hejana as soon as there are other developments.